Hi ladies and gentlemen, I am back. I got another one of these beastly boys out of the truck. This is what we got. I don't know if you can see this or not. This is a big honkin' HP ProLiant DL585G7. That also is an older unit. This whole part right here weighed over 40 pounds just in and of itself. What I did is climbed up into my truck and took it apart. There's no way I was going to try to move this thing. So I went inside and I took it all apart and made it manageable. So let me show you what I got. Yes, 2 lives in one day. Shock, shock. This is what we get out of the front. I got 2 of these. There's a handle here, and I just opened the handle and slid it out. So that took 40 pounds off right there. Whew. Let's see what we got. I took all the weight out that I could possibly take, and I'm in my bathing suit. Been in and out of the hot tub all day. I turned the temperature down. It's nice and cool. But it's just so nice outside. So I pulled all of these. These all came out of this one unit. Goldfinger card, bracket, and heat sink. There's another one. Another one. This could be a graphics card or possibly a sound card. Again, they get bought and sold as Goldfinger cards. All of these do. Just clean up the bracket. So those are all Goldfinger cards. They all came out of this. Ooh, E-scrap bites. Ooh, ow. And then this is I think it's a processing card. There's 2 of them in here. There's one on the top and then there's one on the bottom. Oh, there's a whole tray that laid inside of this one. You can sell this with your RAM. I sell it separately, but it can go as RAM. I put it separately though. Goldfinger. I'll sell this as a Goldfinger card. That's what it would be purchased by just about any buyer in the world as they take the battery off. Yeah, that'll be it. It's a daughter card, but you can put it in with your Goldfinger cards. Some kind of processing card. Told you guys I'm not a computer technician. I'm a computer destruction technician. Larry, Steve, welcome. Hi. Thank you very much. Yeah, like I said, this is going to take me all day today and all day tomorrow to get these out of the car. It's really not good for the truck to leave all that weight in it. So, plus now that I've unstrapped them, I really can't drive anywhere, so it's going to be today and tomorrow's job. I got a total of 4 of these. That is a copper aluminum heatsink. It's not heavy enough to be all copper. They're not paying super well on copper aluminum heat sinks right now. Probably worth it for the rest of the copper if you can. I don't know, last time I checked they were paying like 10 to 20 cents a pound. I gotta check. My problem is I've got 4 garbage cans full of them and I don't have the time. I'm never gonna get it processed. I wish I could. Sometimes, I'm gonna save stuff like that for like the winter. Ain't gonna be running around tell you that right now. Hey, Big Red Chevy, how are you? I am well. Yeah, agreed. This pickup wasn't too far. It was an hour away. The truck will take it. I have an extra heavy-duty suspension, but you know, I don't want to wreck my truck. I love my truck. So I took a pallet full today, and I'll get a pallet full tomorrow. Ooh. Why don't you want to come out of there? Are you stuck? Probably going to do one of these on my live tomorrow, I think. Now, when you do servers, guys, you got to get the brackets off, because a lot of times there's a metal plate underneath, and these will hold the whole thing up. I got to go get a hammer and give that a knock. That'll get it off. Yeah, no, we've been pretty lucky lately. You know, I've been, those of you who've been following me know I've been really saying how hard it's been to get e-scrap. And I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but I also said that I hoped over the summer it would pick up. A lot of schools and a lot of offices, you know, it's their off season, so they will upgrade their IT equipment. And sure enough, that's what happened here. Come on. There's a no, I haven't got all my tools out here because I was lazy this morning. Crap. We did well overall. Servers are really, usually, if you get a decent set of servers, usually good for some RAM. Most people pull the hard drives. I would myself if I was selling them. Oh, come on. Stink water. Some up here. Usually these just pull off, but of course it's not going to because I'm live. I am too. Wait, what's 2.8? I missed something. Gig Red Chevy. I got a Gig Red Nissan. Big Red. That's what we actually call her. Him. Hell. Always waits till I go live and then he gives me a hard time. Well, I've been out of RAM for the past week. I have a feeling by the time I'm done doing these 17 servers, I might be stocked up again. I don't think, you know, they're all different. But these are definitely older. The one I did on my other live that I did this afternoon was, what do we say, 1990? This is server RAM. This is only 4 gigs, not as chunky as the other, but still really good for gold recovery. For those of you guys who are looking for gold recovery, yes, it will be in my eBay store, CT Band. What DDR are these? They're Samsung 4 gigabit. The other server I had was 16. They were better. But you know, I don't sell them for reuse. I sell them to be scrapped. Basically because, you know, I have no way to test it. And, now, so there's that. I'm going to get a lot of RAM out of this server and the other one. Even out of these 2 trays, I should get at least a pound. Common questions, where do you get these? I've just fallen on a whole potload of good luck this week. God has sent me numerous blessings, as he frequently does, but this week has been blessing beyond blessing beyond blessing. Having trouble getting this out. The thermal paste might be just stuck. I'll get a hammer. I'll just give it a whack. There's going to be a Xeon chip under here. I already know that. You know, and I'll go through my ritual of what these are. You don't have to worry about finding night cores in these old school guys. You never will. So yeah, this is going to be probably a Xeon. Oh, I'll be damned. An AMD Opteron. Okay, so that's an AMD Opteron. That makes this a fairly old computer. But they're pinless. You know, you see AMD, oh, yeah. Boo, hiss. The date on this one appears to be 2001, guys. 2001. And that would be accurate with this chip. So there are no pins. This sells and buys as a pinless CPU with a metal back. Not a lot of resale in them. They're good for scrap. Yeah, you know what? A lot of things I don't know. Danny Miller, 216. You know, there's a lot of technical stuff I really don't know. I try and answer, but a lot of times, sometimes maybe somebody in the comments usually has a smarter answer than I will. I'm a computer destruction technician. I'm also soaking wet. I've been in and out of the hot tub that isn't really hot today. I filled it this morning. I put some cold water in it. And I've been in and out all day, so. DDR2. It doesn't say. Doesn't DDR usually have a chip right there? Or something? And I don't know. I've learned most of what I know from you guys. We're going to get a potload of RAM out of here, guys. I bet you I get a pound of RAM out of here. There's another whole tray just like this. They're processing trays. These thicker units, a lot of times you'll get 2 trays of stuff. Sometimes you get a whole tray of just RAM. I mean, there's just some, these older technology processors are amazing. I mean, the newer servers, you know, they've actually changed all the grading because of the amount of plastic that's in the newer servers. These older servers really should command a premium price because the gold content is so much higher. This socket, no, it actually, I thought it was too, but it's not. It's a, this is an AMD Opteron chip, so that's 1990s technology. It's pinless, even though it's an AMD, it's completely pinless. I'm gonna have to whack that out. The thermal paste is solid into here. Look at the freaking gold pins on this thing. Look at that. Whew. That is a lot of gold recovery on here. Wow. It would sell, or I would even buy, as a dual socket motherboard. Dual metal socket server motherboard, I'll rephrase that. And it would be a small socket because I can't fit a quarter in there. And there's really not much in the way of an upgrade or a downgrade. Well, let me rephrase that. There's no way to upgrade this board to make it sell for anything other than a dual socket server motherboard. There's a lot of waste in here. The next grade up from that would be like telecom. Telecom has to be completely covered with chips. And this, it's actually a processing board. This is all for memory in the CPU. This is all just memory. There's nothing that can upgrade this board to make it any better. So in this case, yes, I will take the gold pins. Why? Because I'm not going to hurt myself or my buyer. You know, he's not going to be able to upgrade me because there's so much waste on this board. And I already know that only because I've been working with this buyer a long time. Alright, so there'll be another one of these, and I'll get that. I said I got to knock that off or pry it off with something. The board itself, oh my god, look at this. Holy crap. All gold connecting pins under here. I'm going to pull these. I'll pull these. And all gold connecting pins under here. I'm going to pull these. I'll pull these. And this will be a plastic with a nice, beautiful gold flashing on it. Pins. And I do sell those as well. These will be connector pins. That'll be connector pins. These are all the things I'm going to take off the board. Not because I'm out to beat my buyer, just because I can't upgrade the board at all, and why would I throw that value away on a board I can't upgrade? And again, I've been working with this buyer a long time. Yeah, I had to get the screw off, and now I got that off. You know, it takes a while, guys. None of this happens overnight. I've been doing this for almost 7 years. And, what kind of Xeon do you want? I have them. I have tons of Xeons. I'll make sure to pull it out very carefully and put it into a tray or plastic. Shoot me a message. I have tons of Xeon chips. But this is a... oh. Yeah, I was on earlier this afternoon. I usually go live Sunday morning. Yeah, so again, that's an AMD Opteron from 1990. Yeah, I just generally don't resell. I don't resell them as usable units. I resell them as scrap because I get them from non-working or outdated units. Sometimes I am under literally direct orders. Ouch. Sometimes I'm under direct orders to destroy the computer. I have to, and I have to sign a certificate of destruction. So, sometimes if I get things that are fixable, and I can wipe the or get rid of the hard drives. Yeah, sometimes things like that I'm given permission to fix and resell. Yeah, but I just tend to be a lot more careful. So these computers, I have to scrap them. I've been told by the person I bought them from. That was one reason he bought them from me. He saw my TikTok channel, and that was one reason he sold them to me. He said, I need them taken apart. I said, you got it. Yeah, as long as I can sell the scrap. He said, fine. Hey, Mark, how are you? Your package shipped out this morning. You should see tracking Monday because of the UPS doesn't always pick up on Saturday. But your package is all set. Hey guys, anybody wants to buy any of these scrap? I have an ESAP store. It is right now. It's under Connecticut Band Instruments. You can find pictures of it on my profile page. And I update every night with what's in there. I sell e-scrap by the pound. Yes, I sell servers. Yes, I sell the boards. But they're ridiculously expensive to ship, so unless you're a board buyer and you're interested in buying a Gaylord bin full, they're just, they're expensive to ship. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. This is beautiful. Wow. So to free this board, I'm going to have to unscrew here, right here. I have to unscrew these, unscrew. That's aluminum. These are all just beautiful gold pins. And again, in this case, I am not going to hurt myself by taking the pins, and I'm not going to hurt my buyer. He's going to buy it as a dual metal socket motherboard, straight out. I can take these. I can't possibly upgrade this to Telecom. I did this a couple of weeks ago with the IBM Blade modules that we had. They were, there was one big CPU on it, and it was all gold pinned. And there were gold finger cards like this on there. And in that case, but the board was completely covered with chips in gold. In that case, my buyer did upgrade me to a Telecom board with the stipulation that I didn't take these off. I don't have that stipulation on this board. Too much wasted space to upgrade it from anything than what it is, which is a dual socket motherboard. You're not going to get the value. Oh, you're very welcome, Mark. I thank you. Okay. So I will do some work on this board. I probably will save this. Maybe I'll do this on my live tomorrow. I'll get the rest of this apart and show you what we can get for gold recovery out of this board. How's that sound? Yeah, I'm going to kind kind of just been off and on today. This is the other processor. This was actually on the top. That one that I just finished was on the bottom. It just had a handle. I just pulled the whole thing out. I wouldn't have had a prayer getting that out of the truck. Otherwise, I don't know what I would have done. But again, you know, I knew going there, when I looked at them, I already knew I could get them apart. So I wasn't really too worried about buying it. I knew I could get them apart. And I know I can manage 30 pounds without too much trouble. 100 pounds, yeah, not so much. Boy, oh boy, we did really well. And I made a friend. He owns a moving company. He does a lot of office cleanouts. And, you know, a lot of times I'll say, just take it. No, he's going to take it. He's going to call me, and I'm going to come just take it. I'll even meet him at his job site and help him unload it. So we did pretty well. Dr. Physics, welcome. All right, so we'll get another set of RAM out of here. This was HP ProLiant. It's old. It's 1990. DL585D7. Like I said, some of these thicker servers, yeah, you get a double tray like this. I did a Sun microprocessor about a month and a half, 2 months ago. I bought 40 of them. One of them was a double. Hi, Uncle Santa. And this white guy, hi. Nice to see some new faces. Please don't forget to hit the like button. And if you like what you're seeing, I do a lot here on TikTok. And I will repost these videos on my YouTube channel as well, in case you want to, in case you want to see it for instructional purposes. You know, I know I come across sounding like a salesperson. I don't really mean to, but I do it for two reasons. One, to teach you guys as much as I can about grading boards and what to expect them to buy and sell. But also, so if you are looking for e-scrap, you know what you're buying. So, clean, gold-fingered RAM. Not trimmed, not shielded. We did really well. There's a pound here. I guarantee it. There's 30 sticks to a pound, so I get these up and I would have gotten a pound of RAM out of that machine. That in itself pays for it and then some. Sir Graves, welcome. And if I miss you on the chat, I'm sorry. It's just because, you know. But again, please feel free to message me. You know, a lot of stuff when I put it up for sale on the eBay store, I also go through grading it again. So, you know, I'm really not. I just started selling e-scrap on eBay about a month ago. And I did it. I did it really thinking of you guys. So many of my subscribers were like, where can we get e-scrap? I sold the boards to an online buyer, and it's only because they're. And not that I wouldn't sell it to you guys, I would, but all the blowback I get is that's too expensive. Well, I can't sell them for any less, or I'm giving away money. No offense, but if you're in the Stratford, Connecticut area and you want to buy boards, yeah, I'd be glad to sell them to you. So if you see something go by you're interested in, you know, shoot me a message. I do take PayPal. If you have something you would like me to save and get you an order ready of, I'd be glad to do that. But my primary thing, I've been a teacher my entire life. Don't have a something or other. I didn't see it go by. I missed it. Darn. Hunter, welcome. Wow. You guys all doing hanging out on TikTok on a Saturday afternoon? Me? It's too damn hot. I'm out of my oasis. I'm planning on going live tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. That's my regular Sunday live. It just depends on how noisy it is. We have a 125-year-old oak tree that unfortunately they tried to save it, and when they started trimming it last week, they realized it's just beyond saving. So my neighbors, it's on their property, they're going to have it taken down. Using a drill on a Phillips screw is pretty crazy. That's set at 0. That's set at drill. Thank you. My screwdriver is broken. And actually, you know what, Toby? Toby brings up a very good point. If you are using an impact drill, which I am, and the reason I'm using it is because my screwdriver, something is wrong here and I can't use it. So I have to use this if I would like to do a live today. But this, and he's right, if you are using an impact driver, make sure you have it set on the drill setting, because if you have it set all the way up, you're going to break your wrist. And you know what, Toby, it's a good point. But I do have it set on low, and I don't apply the full pressure. It's actually a very good point. So yeah, you could break your wrist using an impact driver. Absolutely. Good safety point, Toby. Thank you. If I turn the torque up on this, the whole thing will go right like that, and I'd really get hurt. And he's right. But I do have it set on low, and I only use enough torque to get the screws loose. I think Home Depot is having a big sale on Ryobi. I think they have a 2-pack of screwdrivers with 2 batteries for like $79. And I think I'm going to go tomorrow and pick up a screwdriver set. I usually try to have them in the box. You know, I always try to have things in the truck. A lot of times, you know, I have to go in and help people with IT removal after on ship. So again, these are pinless CPUs with a metal back. That's what I buy them as, and that's what most buyers buy them as, and that's what I sell them as. I think board sorts at $9 and change a pound. I'm obviously a little bit more than that. The only reason is I have eBay fees I gotta pay, and I gotta pay shipping. But if you do buy stuff from my eBay store, just mention that you are one of my lovely, wonderful, isn't it, Mark? I don't know how these are for gold recovery. Actually, I'm gonna ask Scrooge McDuckin about that. I don't know. I mean, they don't sell well as far as gold recovery. This is pinned, so I mean the value is probably here. And I suppose if I really got into all this, I'd cut all that out and take the pins, and I don't want to do that. I'm happy doing this and stripping the parts. I don't know. Have any of you guys ever tried these pinless CPUs for gold recovery? I see an awful lot of them up for sale. I don't know. I think it's more like a gold flashing, but I really don't know. I'd be curious to know. I lost my train of thought. Train left. My neighbors probably won't know what the hell am I doing out here. So anyway, they may be doing some tree work here tomorrow, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do a live, because it's going to be noisy. They said they might do Thursday, so we'll see. But yeah, that's a heartbreak for all of us in the neighborhood I grew up. This is the house I grew up in. And majestic, beautiful charred oak tree. I actually think those lantern flies were the icing on the cake. It's just infested with them. Sad. I've been looking around the yard trying to save any seedlings from it that I can find. I would like to give a seedling to my... So Candace's question is, where do you get your inventory? I've been at this so many years. Facebook Marketplace is excellent. Just please be careful. Either take somebody with you or check the buyer's feedback or meet in a public place. In this case, it was somebody who owns a moving company. You should see their warehouse. Holy crap. Absolutely legit business. And he just has pallets and pallets of stuff. He does cleanouts. People come clean it out, and he get rid of it. He puts it in his warehouse and resells it. And what a cool business. If I was a younger lady and I had more energy and more strength, I'd be all over a business like that. And then what got me into technology? Well, let me get back to that. So, really, how I got into this, I run a band instrument rental service. Used to be a music teacher. I retired 10 years ago, and I actually retired to take care of my mom full time. She suffered a really bad fall, and she needed full-time care after that, and I was lucky enough to be able to retire. And she was okay for the first few years, just needed some basic assistance, but as she got older, it got harder. She had that full-time care, and I couldn't run my music studio. I stayed home with, and by the grace of God, I was able to. I stayed home and took care of Mom, and honored to have been able to do so. So in order to I wanted to try to keep the teaching studio open, then freaking COVID hit. So it was like one thing after another, and I'd had the music school for almost 10 years. But at that point, I kept it open. I employed a couple of people to run it, and I stayed home with Mom. I don't even know how I actually got into E-Scrap. I was doing a delivery to a school one day. They had a pallet of computers out on the dumpster. I said, hey, can I have those? And they gave them to me. We used to have I had a guy who worked in there. He had a sound studio set up. I had to flip that all the way over, guys, because this clip right here was holding the board. That's why I couldn't get the board off. I should be wearing gloves, guys. Boards are very, very sharp. They should be. This little bugger doesn't get out of its tray. Come on. Come on, I want to show the people what's on the bottom of you. So I took them home. I took them apart. Next thing I know, I was hooked on e-scrapping. I got involved with a local scrapyard. And again, I was still taking care of Mom full time. I was down the cellar working on computers, and she would need something. She'd just bang on the floor with the cane. I'd go up and get her whatever she needed. And that's how I got into it. Then I taught a local yard all about e-scrapping. That was 3 years ago. And he's making a fortune, and I got kicked to the curb. It's been kind of just one of those things. I never expected this. If anybody ever told me I'd be on TikTok with all the subscribers I have and people would actually enjoy watching me scrap stuff and chatting with me, So that was how that all happened. And, now it's, believe it or not, it's a hobby. I don't even do this to make a living. But I've decided to close the music studio, which I would have done anyway. I mean, I'm 65, and I've had enough, Nice gold connector ends. And I sell something like that as gold connector ends, and that's what I sell them as, and that's what buyers buy them as, gold connector ends. I don't do gold recovery. That's another whole level. I am not comfortable with it. My nephew has 3 beautiful little girls, and I don't think kids and chemicals go together well. Plus, I really can't properly and safely ventilate the stuff. Our houses are too close here, and that just to me is just, for me, is asking for trouble because I don't know enough about it. But God bless some of you guys on here who do this. And that actually is how I got into the e-scrap store. I got into the e-scrap store. I'm still wet, guys. I was in the pool, so pardon my appearance. I don't care. I'm in and out of the pool 20 times a day. But I love it out here. This is my oasis. I have a hot tub. I've got a 8-inch pool. I've got my awning. I've got my fake grass all over my broken flagstones. And I live out here in the summer. Oh, anyway, but the gold refining people are why I actually started selling stuff on eScrap, on eBay. When did I start, guys? Not too long ago. So what? A couple of months ago. D-Scraps, eScraps on eBay will be the name of the new site when I finally get around to getting it. Still really tied up with the getting the music school closed, and I still do have the rental business. So a couple of things tying me up there. But I realized that it's really hard to get eScrap. So I started. I don't have any problem selling my eScrap. I have 5 refiners I can sell to, five board buyers. I have plenty of people to sell it to. But as this whole TikTok thing started, now I started on TikTok, I think in late January, early February, somewhere in through there. I saw people looking for things to refine who do all this gold refining. Now, gold refining from eScrap is becoming huge. I mean, huge, huge, huge. And it's going to get bigger. As the price of gold goes up and precious metal goes up and the rarity of precious metal goes up, the demand is going to go up too. So this board I'm going to sell just like this. Okay, it's going to be a dual socket, small socket, dual small socket server motherboard. But check this board out. Look at that. I'm going to take this off. Probably try to take that off just for my buyers. But this is full of gold pins. And I'm going to sell those by the pound to people who, hi OTD again, how are you doing? Yes, I'm back. Yes, who's back? Back again. Thank you for the gifts, OTD. You're awfully kind. Lost my train of thought. So as I got into this and got into TikTok and YouTube and people started subscribing and I started following what other people were doing, I said, instead of selling all this scrap to a refiner, which I certainly could do, why don't I make some of it available to some of the people who subscribe to my channel? And that's what I did. And that was about, 6 or 8 weeks ago. And I can't keep eScrap in the store. I can't even keep it in there. It's unbelievable. So, it's just one of those things. I didn't plan it. I didn't intend it. And it's just really, really happy. Congratulations, OTD, who just got a #1 gifter badge. You must have sent me lots of gifts. You sent me 3 gifts, OTD. You're so good to me. I also appreciate the nice mention a couple weeks ago on your channel. Appreciate that. And so that's what I do. My music rental business is dead over the summer. I've already got everything cleaned and sorted and inventoried and ready to be delivered in the fall. That's all done already. All my advanced orders are done. I hang out in my oasis and I scrap shit. That's what I do. So this is a beautiful board in and of itself. The value is inside. I don't know if you can see this. This is all gold in here, all gold. So for a refiner who's going to shred this, that board is of good value. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to sell it as anything other than a dual socket motherboard. Anytime you see flashing like this, right? I hope it shows up. I know it's hard to see. Let's see. Yeah. So this, I know these pins are going to be full of gold. I know that already because I've taken a lot of these apart in my day. So I'm going to knock these off. I'll clean them up. I'll get the plastic off, and then I'll have these are beautiful gold connector pins. All right. And that actually plugged, I think, into the other board where all the other gold was. Wow, that was quite the score. So this is sold as a gold finger card. That's what buyers would buy it as. That's what I would sell it as. That's what I would buy it as. Don't forget to get your batteries off. I weigh all this up by the pound. Now, because I'm going to resell this, I won't take the gold band crystal oscillator because I'm probably going to sell it to one of you guys. So I'll leave those on there. I'll take the battery off. I'll take the heatsink off. And of course, I'll take the bracket off. But look at this. Man, you could take this board. You could cut the gold fingers, you could get your IC chips, and you could resell that as a low-grade board to any refiner in the world. Absolutely. So there's a lot of things you can do with these boards. If I sell it to a refiner, they throw it through a shredder, and throw in 10 million toxic chemicals. It goes down the conveyor belt, it gets crushed, it gets shredded, and as they add different things, the precious metals come floating off. Oh, it is becoming a huge, huge business, and it's going to get bigger. So, but again, you know, I can make this available for sale. It'll be in my Goldfinger cards by the pound. I take really good pictures of everything too. You know, don't feel obligated. I'm just saying, you know, I have no problem selling my e-scrap. But if I can help some of you guys out who are doing gold refining, yeah, I'm delighted to do so. You know, I pretty much sell it at the same cost I would sell it to when I'm refining. You know, I sell it for the same price. I just have to upcharge a little bit because of the eBay fees. I do take PayPal. And if you purchase some e-scrap from me and you mention to one of my wonderful subscribers, I'll throw in a little bit extra for you. I always do. I should have 2 pounds of RAM, and I'm only on my second server. Wouldn't it be something if I could just put a big lot of RAM up? It's just amazing. I am extremely humbled. I am extremely grateful. If you saw me yesterday, I think it was, or this morning, I don't remember when I last did it, but I did put up a very heartfelt thank you to all of you who have helped me along this. E-waste recycling near me won't sell me anything. That's so annoying. Yeah, I know the feeling. Miss, you're gonna scratch the leads. What do it's scrap. I don't care. I mean, not to be offensive. I'm not reselling it for use. I'm reselling it for e-scrap. Oh, you mean these guys? You mean this? You mean like that? Well, that's easy enough to do. I think I can accommodate that. The gentleman says I'll scratch the gold leads if I. And you know what? I think you might be right. That's okay. You know, you're really not wrong, Heinz baked beans. That's funny. I really wouldn't want to scrape any of the gold off there because I work at a RAM warehouse. Wow. Boy, oh boy, that's a cool job. They actually make trays that you put the RAM into, but he's not wrong. Yeah. I also have a scrap yard that gets bins of e-waste, and they middleman it. They buy it really cheap and they sell it by the Gaylord box to somebody in New Jersey. I beg them every day, please, can I have some? No, we can't because of insurance. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, they actually asked me if I wanted a job as an e-waste buyer, and I said no. You ain't gonna sell me no e-scrap, I ain't gonna come work for you. So that's about it for now. With the help of God, and if things are quiet enough around here, I should be on between 8 and 10 tomorrow morning. Again, thank you everybody for your support. I hope you're enjoying the videos. I don't mean to sound like a commercial, but I want you guys to know that I do have material available that you can buy for your own home refining purposes. I don't refine, I never have, and I never will. It's not my thing. But more than anything, I like to show you guys what is in these boards, what is in these servers. So if you get a chance to buy some, doesn't it make more sense to know what's in it? If you go out and buy blind, you're going to get rooked. And I really mean that. You're going to get absolutely rooked. You can always email and ask me about certain products, and if I know what they are, I'll be glad to advise as to whether or not you should buy it. 9 times out of 10, you're going to get a box and a board. They're going to have stripped everything out. In this case, I knew they hadn't. Thanks, Heinz Baby. You too. All right, everybody. Thank you. God bless. Thanks for visiting. CT Band Instruments on eBay. If you're looking for e-scrap, I'll have more up tonight and tomorrow. I add stuff as fast as I possibly can. I am planning on launching an e-scrap by the pound on the Computer Scrapper. thecomputerscrapper.com. I actually do own that domain, and I do have that website, but I want to get to the point where I can just have things up by the pound and you guys can just order what you need. That's down the pipeline. To do that, I've got to have enough stock, and honestly, It sells faster than I can put it in the store. It's unbelievable. All right, everybody, enjoy the rest of this absolutely amazing day. Good luck working on that Chevy, Gig Red Chevy. My Gig Red Nissan says hello. Old Big Red. All right, everybody. Bye, OTD. Everybody, God bless. Thanks for stopping by and visiting me. I know it was the second time around today, but, you know, when you're a content creator, you got to put content up when you got it to put up. All right, everybody. God bless. Hopefully, see you tomorrow. Bye.